Hey, I'm back again. So another really quick little video log. One of the things I get asked about quite frequently is about tire selection. And in the previous little video log, I talked about questioning assumptions. And I'm really a big fan of evidence-based science. So we test this, we apply a model, the model's consistent, and it comes back with a winner. And I've been doing that for years. A very long time ago, I made the switch from I believe it was Michelin and or maybe even a low spec Vittoria to a very high spec Vittoria tire. And I did experiment with Continental for a very brief period of time, and I have a bias. And that bias was that they were insanely difficult to mount on the wheel set that I had. I did not, they felt sketchy. I never enjoyed the rolling resistance was just, it seemed bad. No matter what type of inflation, everything was bad. My personal experience with Continentals was not good. I can't recall if it was a 2000 or a 4000 GP. I mean, this has been some years ago, so it was probably like a 2000 or something. Definitely not a gator skin or anything that poor in rolling resistance. Then what happened is that some Vittoria Corsa Evo CXs, I think version 2, came on the market. I got them at a sweetheart deal. It was like 60% off. And I thought, for that price, I'll throw them on. Fell in love. Absolutely fell in love. 320 thread per inch count, which was the highest at the time and still relatively high compared to most. And fell in love with it. Great cornering traction. Felt like they just rolled for days, just no resistance whatsoever. And most of this is just anecdotal and subjective, but it became kind of my go-to tire. As I progressed as an athlete and you're looking for every little potential gain possible, you start investigating. And that's part of critical thinking, is investigation. And I was questioning my assumptions, that my assumptions were that these tires were fast. Well, lo and behold, a third party comes out that's not sponsored. They don't receive money. They're not given tires from anyone. Quite honestly, I don't know how this gentleman actually makes any money, but he took a known mathematical formula for measuring the rolling resistance. He created a test jig at his home. He uses the same wheel set. He has both clincher, tubeless, and tubular glue up, if you like. Scenarios or setups. And then what he does is he buys these things off the rack. I don't know exactly where he buys them. It might be BikeTiresDirect.com or maybe Amazon, I'm not sure. And then he puts them through a series of tests. And every time that he tests one of these, you get the same data set every time. So it's not just rolling resistance, it's also puncture resistance. And I'm not sure he's doing wear life, but I think he gives some sort of indication. He makes measurements, he takes a look at the claimed weights, the claim measurements, and then actually gives you a kind of a real measure, what he found from what he purchased. All of that is published publicly. And he stays on top of things. And lo and behold, guess what? The Vittoria tires were the fastest. They were had the lowest rolling resistance. All right, everybody, that's just another example of questioning your assumptions and thinking critically and looking into things. Very quickly, I got to go. Someone just pulled up. We're going to go for a ride. Talk to you soon.